what's up? I'm taking a break from work for a minute, driving the Lyft, and I just wanted to share with you some of the best advice that I ever got when it came to wanting more time with my kids, being a divorced dad, being a divorced father, and wanting more time with my kids. And the main thing was to ask for it. Really, the bottom line. I saw a therapist for a while, and he gave me this advice. It's just like, what you want, just keep asking for it. And there's, that is the piece of advice that was the most profound for me in this struggle. Because my own particular story, I was, for a long time I was stuck in a parenting plan that only had legally on the documents like 2 weekends a month, but I wanted to split custody. I wanted to have equal custody. I wanted to have 50% time with the kids. And so it was always kind of a point of contention with who was the primary parent and all this stuff and for me it's just like, I was like, what do I do about this? This is not what I wanted. I made a mistake when I originally got a divorce and not getting a lawyer and thinking that it would be more of a goodwill thing and more of a meet in the middle and work together thing, and it just didn't work out that way until recently. Having moved states, I was able to get the parenting plan rewritten to be 50% custody, which is awesome. But in the meantime, what I did to accomplish the goal of mine to spend more time with my kids was just to keep asking for it. Whenever the calendar would be published, we'd use a Google Calendar to document and track the amount of time we had with, and I'll be like, hey, can I get more time? And things like that. Just keep asking for more time. And another piece of advice that I think I want to offer for you as well, to put in parallel with this process, because I know this process can be hard. It's living in grace, in the deploying grace in the face of adversity is something that I personally, it's like a personal mantra of mine in life as a whole. But in this particular case, because I know wanting more time with your kids, dealing with your ex-wife, or just your ex-relationship, the mom of your children, it's not uncommon to be a struggle. It's not uncommon to be hard to deal with, to figure out, to communicate with. And, you have to approach the relationship with grace. You have to approach the adversity with grace. You cannot, no matter how angry and upset and frustrated you are, you cannot bring that to the conversation. You cannot bring that to the relationship, because that will not help anything. If you want more time with your kids and you're showing that you can't, regulate yourself and be calm and collected, like, what are you going to do when your kids make you upset? How are you going to act then? So you have to show, you have to be, every moment that you bring to this idea of you wanting to be more involved with your kids' lives and have them more, is you have to deploy grace against anything that shows a degree of adversity. And the one thing is, like, how do you communicate with wanting more time without being angry or negative or showing anything that could cause pause to wanting to allow that to happen? Because in the end, what I've noticed is, if you do deploy grace, if you do deploy an adult, I guess you could say, attitude toward it, when the time comes and the kids need somewhere to be, hopefully you will be the first person that's asked and considered when it's like, if something comes up for the other side of the relationship. So that's a big part of it. It definitely takes more strength, more, us as men, and anybody really, but us as men in particular, we like to be strong. We like to show our strength, and oftentimes that comes out as an outward expression, but it takes even more strength to hold in your emotions in a way that, instead of instead of having that outward expression of negativity and anger, to stay calm takes way more strength than it does to get angry outwardly. So it's something to add to that equation. When you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're upset, it takes way more strength to deploy grace than it does to just lash out with what you want and what you feel you need. It's also important to remember that our children are like sponges of emotion and energy and empathy and love and all those kind of things, that when we bring negativity to the relationship, they feel it whether or not we intend to or not. So if there's a clash between you and the other half of the relationship, your partner, your ex-wife or girlfriend or whoever, the mother of your children will feel the energy, whether you're trying to show it or not. So the more you can be centered, deploy that grace against the adversity, the better off it'll be for everybody. And the other piece, there's a very important piece to this whole thing as well, is to be realistic and to be honest with yourself. Because I feel like a lot of times, in this relationship of, split up couples and the child in the middle of it all, we think we want something, but it's just, oftentimes it can be just the frustration of the power we want over the other person or something like that, when we don't actually look at what is my schedule, what is my lifestyle, would it be better for my ex to have the kids more often than I do? It's more about the time you put in when you're with your children. It's the time you put in with them. Are you there with them? Because it's just having them for time doesn't really mean as much as when you do have them. Are you there? Are you able to be with them? Are you able to nurture them and be present for them? Because just wanting the time versus actually being present, is a huge difference. There's a huge difference. If you know, like, if your schedule and your lifestyle only allows you to have them on the weekends, but you're able to devote very significant, meaningful time to that, that's way better than fighting for more time with them that you're not going to actually spend with them. So, things to consider when you're going down this road. Ask for what you want, deploy grace, be honest with yourself. Alright, talk to me if you like.